Welcome to Art for Film's Sake. I'm Stephen Reed, and this is Rear Window by Doug John Miller. Making movies is a risky business. Of the thousands made every year, only a small number do well at the box office. But some believe there are ways to increase the chances of making a hit. A formula for success. Others will say there is just one rule. You need a star, darling. A big name who brings the magic to reel the audience in, puts bums on seats. The 1964 release of Rear Window was unquestionably drowning in stardust. Not only did it boast the 20th century's most celebrated director at the helm, the film also starred not one, but two of the biggest names in Hollywood. The pairing of Grace Kelly and James Stewart was box office gold. But something even more impressive elevated Alfred Hitchcock's voyeuristic thriller to even greater heights: the set. An incredible life-size model of a New York neighborhood, the extraordinary construction gave the director the license to push his skill for dynamic camera placement and clever use of space to another level. This amazing set gave Hitchcock the perfect blueprint from which he created one of the best films of all time. And Doug John Miller has constructed his own work of genius in this magnificent, mind-bogglingly detailed poster. There are so many exquisitely realised details here that you'll find yourself staring at it for hours. The first thing my eyes are drawn to are those beautifully sun-drenched colours of the buildings and gardens across the way from wheelchair-bound L.B. Jeffries' apartment. Every surface, from the beautiful orange-brown brickwork to the umber-green foliage and azure-blue rooftops, shines as brightly as if lit by the 1,000 arc lights that we used on the set to simulate sunlight. And it's Miller's beautiful line work that holds it all together. His style nicely combines the playful freedom of a comic book with the precision of architectural drawing. This becomes even more apparent when your eyes adjust focus and the foreground snaps into perspective. A plethora of lines and shapes feels overwhelming at first, but the artist's skill soon has you realising that there is so much more going on here. The labyrinth of ladders, stairs, scaffolding, platforms, ducts and lighting rigs gives us a vivid comprehension of the sheer scale of effort and energy that goes into building sets such as this one. It's a lovely and well-deserved tip of the hat to the many unsung heroes who bring movies to life, many of whom are featured here too. It's the only film poster I can think of that shares some of the limelight with those who toil away behind the scenes. Looking at them makes Miller's talent for drawing figures abundantly clear. The way he makes every single one of them feel part of the set is effortlessly done. The titles and credits are beautifully integrated too. That playful credit block has been literally pasted into the scene. You can even see the ladder that's been left behind. And I really love how that beautifully simple white title block floats on top as if it's sitting on a sheet of acetate, a nostalgic reference to the techniques that have long since been replaced by a digital world. All of this attention to detail is so masterfully balanced, delivering a tangible sense of a real space. The different positions of the camera operators and lighting rigs, along with the bustling set builders, DOPs, script and storyboard checkers, give you a real sense of how this film was made. Even those pesky producers watch on nervously from the sidelines. You can even see the great director himself looking out from that room where he makes his trademark cameo in the film. I also see this as a deliberate nod to the way he directed the actors in the apartments across the courtyard. Using a megaphone whilst the camera was rolling was out of the question. Instead, he had them wear flesh-coloured earpieces so he could feed them information from afar. And when you look at the lower third of this composition, you'll see that Miller is giving us another wonderful insight into the lengths that Hitchcock went to. Having the set built entirely inside lot number 18, a huge soundstage at Paramount Studios, was pretty ambitious. But the director wanted even more space. It wasn't big enough for him. So, he demanded they be allowed to drill down into the concrete foundations to create the height and depth he needed. In 1964, pretty much at the height of his career, what Hitchcock wanted, Hitchcock got. You get the impression that Rear Window was a film where he really let loose with his creativity. This is a filmmaker who wouldn't let something as trivial as physics get in the way of realising his vision. Miller has employed a similar attitude in creating this magnificent piece of work, refusing to let the constraints of a 24 by 36 piece of paper hold back his skills and ideas. He has created a poster that, despite its abundance of detail, is telling us something quite simple. Sometimes, the making of a film is just as compelling as the film itself.